And we're live. How are you, Jezza?
Oh,
Jerwin?
mate, I am going good. How are you, Mr. Oliver?
Good. This
Good.
is a good continuation of our first talk
Yeah.
on
Oh, gosh. Yes.
goallessness, the goal of goallessness.
The goal of goallessness.
It felt like
Mm.
there were a bit of hanging things that we want to continue. Is that
Yeah, there's
right?
so many things that we can, I guess, cover and things I want to actually um, uncover from your not thought experiment, your actual experiment, right? So for those who, I guess, didn't tune into the last one and just by magically found this podcast. Oliver, what was your experiment and how did you get to that point and how did it go?
Yeah, it's really like adapting mysticism from the Sufis, the Baals, the Buddhists.
Yeah.
It's more of how can I live when I'm just observing things as they happen in me.
Mm.
So really, it's a way to have the ego, the self, just not put my attention in it, not put energy on it, not put energy in thoughts, and just live spontaneously
Mm.
from my inner being, inner core.
Yeah.
So there's a few angles I could look at. This one is be in this world but be not of it. So maybe it's better, it's a bit abstract. I'll just do in my more concrete terms. So
Yeah.
like I'm watching my thoughts and I just watch them. And interesting enough, when I watch them, they just pass through and then I'm empty again and I'm responding again. So in a way, I'm more real time with reality.
Yeah.
That's what I've been finding out.
Is that sort of like the similar, just to put that into like, I guess to contextualize it a little bit, it's sort of like you'll say, you know how there's clouds just like passing by. You're saying like you're placing those thoughts like that and eventually those thoughts will just ease away and disappear on a moment by
Yeah,
moment basis.
because if I'm finding out if I don't put attention to the thoughts, they just run their course.
Yeah.
But if I try to suppress them, the stronger they get. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was an interesting episode. When was that? Yes, yesterday. Someone
Mm.
said something that criticized me, and then so I was gonna react to it, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're practicing this." I just detached a bit and watched myself. I could feel like whoosh, and I felt the energy rise up, and I was gonna react, and then when I put attention in it, it just dissipated, and
Just said, oh.
I could still feel the power of it.
Yeah.
The hit when it hit the body, and then
Mm-hmm.
and the energy got released.
And so it didn't affect you anymore. It didn't really.
No, I still felt it, but but then there was a delay, and I could choose. Okay, I could choose to just be automatic.
Yeah.
Or I could choose a better way of responding. I did respond, but in a less confrontational way.
Mm.
I kind of say, "Oh, but it's like this," and then leave it at that instead of "Oh," and just go,
Yeah.
and just go like escalation, right?
I feel
Escalation
like
on.
you responded to that rather than reacting, to be honest. Like, but you had that really deep. I can't really put words into it, but you had that deep focus. Like you lost it, and then you were like, "I got it." You know?
Yeah, because I guess I'm doing the experiment, right? So I'm
Mm.
aware throughout the day, like
Yeah.
even when I'm walking. Are you walking or are you thinking about something else? It's very easy. It's okay. Let the thoughts come in and just watch. It's a thought. And
So it's easy for your mind to wander off, essentially. Do
yeah,
you
and
find
also
that?
let's do it from another angle, like the conscious mind, this
Yeah.
discursive mind, the voices, the one that says this is you.
Yeah.
It's only a small part of
Mm.
in terms of bandwidth. It's a bit like I think we can only process 7 things, 7 plus 2. So you can only remember 7 things
In a given
in
moment.
this working memory. Yeah. You can chunk them, but essentially that's that. So that's just, apparently it's like 40 bits per second is the bandwidth of consciousness
Really? 40 bits per
per
second?
second, which is the consciousness. The consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people did experiment, but the eyes receive like millions of bits per second. You know, when we see stuff,
Yeah.
the hearing is 100,000 bits per. There's a lot entering.
Yep. Yeah.
But we filter it and we just focus on what we need to
Focus
survive.
on. Yeah.
Survive basically,
Mm.
because or it's too much maybe. So I'm feeling that by doing this no mind state, I'm letting in more of the
Information that's
more
like,
of the richer.
yeah.
It's been an interesting experiment, and it's just coincided to I'm listening to lectures on mysticism, and I also did this Sattva yoga school in Himalayas over Zoom for a
Ooh.
week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's more on there are practices in breathing, simple things like, you know, why the yogis do this.
Is that for the? Will they do that for to say their namaste, right? It's just to give thanks to the moment.
Yeah, it's the namaskar mudra. There's that, but behind it, it's the union. It's union of the left and right hemisphere.
Ah.
So I'm saying I'm being total in front of you. So I'm giving you my whole. So yoga is about union, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm being total in presenting myself to you. And that's why in some of the exercises, we cover one nostril and then shift. It's also balancing.
I've done
Even
that
the
exercise.
third eye, if you think about it, the third eye is in the middle. So it links the two eyes.
Yeah.
It's the whole science
Wow.
behind it. Yeah, this.
I didn't even know that. And I've been doing yoga for like how long now?
Yeah, me too. And it's also linking, you know, when you hold when I hold the asanas and the breathing,
Yeah.
it's a sympathetic and parasympathetic workings, right? Because
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, but then how do I get comfortable in this weird position
Yeah.
while being conscious of the breathing? So it makes me a whole person. I'm in my body, I'm breathing. At the same time, I'm also in my mind. So,
Yeah.
so but really, so the practice, it's paradoxical. The practice of emptying the mind allows me to be total.
That is very paradoxical. Wow.
Which makes sense because there's no other way. Because if you're not empty, it will always be limited. It will always be finite.
Yeah.
In a weird, and also, yeah, another thing I've been learning is how to be in paradoxical way of being. Like anything that's born will die. So the moment I'm born, I already started dying as well.
Oh
So
my gosh.
the question is, what is in me that's not born? So this is where the whole reincarnation thing comes in.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that whole statement is what's inside of you that's not born yet. Have you figured that out yet?
It's not born yet.
Oh,
What is eternal?
What's eternal?
Yeah.
What's eternal to you?
It feels to me it will be that witnessing thing, whatever that the watching and this awareness that feels to me outside of time. Because I've also done a lot of past life regression and that, so I've looked at past lives.
Oh my
and
gosh.
There's still someone looking. So that thing cuts through lives. So, you know.
Oh wow. So
I mean, in physics, you could also think about it because like energy cannot be created. It can only be transformed.
transferred. Yeah.
And no one's really explained how the universe came to be. But some physicists are saying maybe there's no beginning. It's just there, eternal.
Yeah. It's like with energy too, it's like it's finite, right? And a lot of us don't realize like without energy, you can't remove or add energy. It just is like
It's
you
just
can
that,
put,
yeah.
yeah, you can just put energy with time, right? Time doesn't stop for you. Time doesn't like slow down
I
because
mean, time itself is what it is. What is
yeah,
it?
it's just
The best. So far, I've been thinking about this or considering this. It's changed, really. The only way we could, if nothing was changing, there will be no time. If
time. Yeah,
everything stood still.
yeah. On a moment to moment basis, there's always something changing. You know.
Yeah, and it's kind of irreversible.
Yeah, even as we speak right now, our cells are, you know, they're replacing each other like very slowly and stuff. Like if we go through that through science, um, yeah. Like I guess another question I really wanted to ask, and this is probably something we spoke about like a couple minutes ago, was your experiences so far in running your experiment, but um, in a setting where there's so much happening. You know, like this, it's one thing that's right now in this moment, because it's so easy to focus on just me, my hand movements, my voice. You know, your mind is like conscious is switched onto that. But say, how was your experiences running that? Like, I guess like in a crowded place, or like in a place where there's like 500 things going on at once. Have you been to, I guess, a crowded place, or like somewhere that's like a lot of distraction, that could
Like you mean like the
challenge you?
internet, like Twitter.
Yes. The internet is literally a state of distraction. It's just there
Hmm.
to like to distract you. It's to choose if you want to be distracted by what you engage with, essentially.
Well, I guess my experience has been, yeah, it works if I'm being total
Yeah.
in an interesting kind of way. Like, you know, some people try, oh, I'm going to get off Facebook. Oh, I'm going to do a Facebook diet. But in a way,
A
if
Facebook
I do
diet.
if I do the fasting, or if I do the abstinence or the,
You know what they call it nowadays? We call it well, I heard it was social media detox.
Mhm.
And people go deactivate. I do this from time to time when I feel like I'm getting too addicted to social media. Is I deactivate, and I just feel my brain craving to check Facebook, to check Twitter,
That's what I'm
to check
saying.
stories, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's if I'm against or for something, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
They're like love and hate is two sides, aversion and attraction.
yeah.
But the idea is to
Detach.
but let it run its course.
Just let it be.
So if I'm gonna scroll Facebook, I'm just gonna scroll. I'm gonna be present, I'm gonna be aware, and then it burns, and then it's done, and I do
It's
something
done.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas if I'm not gonna look, but then it's still, I'm still carrying it, you know.
yeah. Do you feel like that would be a good exercise to conduct if you had an addiction, for example?
I don't really know.
Are you
Well,
addicted to anything at the moment?
of course we I
But
think.
I mean, as in you, like while you're running this experiment, did you have any addictions? Whether it's addiction to, say, a Reddit feed, or like or to YouTube, or to eating a certain kind of food.
Coffee.
Coffee? You're addicted to coffee?
Yeah, and also I guess it would depend on how we define addiction, right?
Yeah.
Addiction, yeah. I know if I stop drinking coffee tomorrow, I'm gonna have a headache for a few days until yeah. So I think
Yeah.
it's addiction because my body will crave it.
You crave it, yeah.
Yeah.
So addiction comes into what we spoke about last talk, right? It's desire. You're addicted to it because you desire it. Would you agree? Or would you not agree?
I think it's not just that. It's
It's multi-layered.
because no, I don't wanna make desire look bad because it's life force. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
make the misconception that all religions have tried that and it just created more hell for the world. Suppress
Mm.
sex, suppress other forms of sexuality
Oh
because it's
yeah.
not procreation. You know what I mean? I don't want to go. We've been there.
Yeah, no. Let's not go back into that.
in that
To the abyss. To the abyss.
in the suppression complex.
Yeah. No.
What I'll say is my experience is because in one of the trainings I did, we did 12 steps. I didn't finish it, but to feel the mechanism. And I went to America and I sat at some of the AA meetings. In fact, I sat in one of the places where one of the early, I think maybe it's where it started I think it was in San Francisco, I think, or LA. Anyway, the idea is with these 12-step programs. So in an addiction, there's something, a substance or an activity takes over the sovereignty of the person.
Yeah.
So the idea with the program is because if you could overcome, and you would have done it already, right?
Yeah.
So that means more powerful than you. So what I think in the program does is they surrender to a higher power. That's not the addiction. That's why a lot of my atheist Marxist friends don't like it, because some people are allergic to the concept of God, are allergic to the concept of a deity. I have friends like that. Whenever I mention God, they just look at me funny, and they just
Like
don't.
fully atheist.
They think it's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I don't want to be the end of the line.
What do you mean, end of the line?
Like there's nothing greater than me. I think that's absurd. Because that would, yeah. I guess if you don't believe in something greater than me, then that means I'm the end.
Yeah.
But it's paradoxical, because in this mysticism, the idea is to become a Buddha, not become a Buddhist. Melt with the ocean. But the thing is, I'm not the ocean. I'm in the ocean. In the way, like, your God, everyone's God. Most of us are just sleeping gods. And it's about awakening. It's a bit
awakening
like
in what sense?
To our self nature.
I see.
Out of the conditioning. The more I do this, the more I realize. Even now, as I'm talking to you, I'm feeling, is what I'm saying really come from me, or did I just read it from somewhere, or did someone tell? Do you know what I mean? A lot of the things, we don't even know who we are, because we're so part of the context, our upbringing, what we learned when we were, sometimes, or a lot of the times, certainly when I was a bit younger, I did parrot a lot of things.
Yeah.
I just learned the phrase and just repeated it. But yeah, there was a phase, I went through a Buddhist Zen, but I think I didn't penetrate deep enough, because I didn't make it my own.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I've changed. In the past, I used to be putting a lot of quotes in social media. Now I no longer do that. What I do is I read something and then I digest it, and then I rewrite it in my own words. I have to make it my own.
So you take whatever is
insights,
given to you, and you sort of
sit with it,
you digest
and then come out in my own words, so that it becomes part of me, rather than it's nothing, because I've been through that too, where this says this in this book, therefore I'm right. But that's a book. How do you know it's right? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's why it's powerful, though, because you have this mindset, this mind where you're like, this way of taking something, and you don't take it for a grain of salt. You always let it sit there, and you're just like, okay, how do I perceive this? Like, what's my collective experiences towards this quote or this thing, and what can I make of it? How can I relate this to my own collective experience?
Yeah, and the beauty with what Gautama Buddha did, or Siddhartha, is like, an awakened person can still make mistakes. It's not like, you're Catholic, right? In Catholicism, the Pope is supposed to be infallible, which is ridiculous. Because whoever sits in that chair is believed to be infallible, but we've known through history they're not. Whereas in what Siddhartha started, you're just awake, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna make mistakes, because you're still
human, essentially.
yeah, and actually, we're all in it.
Yeah.
So one of the way is to also not judge things. Just look at it as it's happening.
Yeah.
Not be, oh, that's good, that's bad, because that's what it already creates the division.
As soon as you label something,
So
yeah.
it's about, if I'm divided here, it's not gonna work for me because there'll be a lot of war inside of me.
Yeah. But I guess if you have that sort of perspective of doing things, how about what about your gut feeling? What does your gut feeling say? Even if your gut feeling says, "Oh, that's bad," they're doing, or what he's saying, based on your experiences, right? Would
That's
you
part of
still
it.
detach it?
That's yeah. No. It's not that's again. It's not suppressing. It's to that's their nature.
Yeah.
Like
It's like fight
if
or
I see a
flight.
lion,
Yeah.
not really. It's the nature of something that's not me. So if I see a snake that's gonna attack me, I'm not gonna say the snake is evil. It's in the nature of the snake to do it, right?
Okay.
And then it's up to me. It's actually really useful as well for interpeople interaction. Like there's a story where God Siddhartha was walking through a town, and someone really insulted him,
Mm.
and he didn't react. He just said, "Okay," and then went by. And then his disciples said, what happened? Why he was insulting you? What? Why didn't you get back at him?" He said, "That's his nature." And I just happened to be there. if it wasn't me, he would have insulted someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an interesting kind of like a simple to simplify it. Like if I'm awake walking on the street and I see dog poo, I'm just gonna try to avoid it, right? I'm not gonna think, oh, that's bad. That's
Oh, it smells like
I'm just
shit.
gonna yeah. Well, some people do that. They just go onto this, and then I'm already victim to the external circumstances. It can
Yeah.
control me.
Yeah. I feel like the
Still grappling
experiment.
with it because
Yeah.
I still fall down to the oh, I'm reacting, and it's also good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good to see where I get triggered. It's a commonly used term now. Just watch the triggering and let it run through.
I really wanted to go through what you thought, or maybe what you felt was going to happen before you ran this experiment versus um, your perceptions now. Like, how did anything change like along the way? Did you learn um, anything really big that you, I guess, would you recommend doing this experiment for someone that's like contemplating it, having the goal of goallessness?
Or no mind, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I wrote, I think yesterday, no mind. Mindfulness cannot hold the candle to no mind. Because I think mindfulness is still in the mind. It's becoming like a corporate thing now. It's becoming like a commodity to be
Yeah, that's so
consumed
weird, right?
by. Yeah.
Like
Whereas
it,
no mind it's really no mind. You're outside that paradigm.
yeah.
So I'm shifting now from mindfulness and meditation to no mind. I think it captures more the experiment I'm running.
So how would you define mindfulness, and how would you define no mind? And what was the difference between the two?
Mindfulness
Just
is a practice, as
mhm.
most. I mean, again, it's definitions, but I think most people would define it as such. Like, I've got my insight timer. I'm gonna do the. You know what I mean? It's a thing you do.
Yeah.
Whereas no mind is what I am. That's where it starts from. The spontaneity comes from the emptiness. That's not. It's not. In a way, the ego is a dream, and if I wake up, it's just gone. It's
Mm,
not something to be achieved. I think that's a big one of the biggest, to me, one of the biggest illusions that I've been chasing for most of my life is, if I just do this, if I just find the right technique, if I just sit the number of hours, 10,000 hours, you know what I mean? It's already here. It's just let it come out.
Mm.
It links to the Taoist things of doing by non-doing.
Yeah.
Make it yeah, and also in the Hindu, like Sat Chit Ananda, so truth, consciousness, and bliss. So ultimately, bliss is and also Satyam Shivam Sundaram, truth is God and God is beautiful.
Mm.
So to me, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more beauty. Like my Instagram feed has totally changed since I did this.
Oh,
I keep
really?
seeing beauty everywhere I look.
Yeah.
If you look at my Instagram, it's all about flowers and clouds. I keep seeing these things like, oh, this moment is just so beautiful. I have to capture it, and then
Yeah.
it's gone, and it's another moment. Yeah.
Because it will never be that exact same moment ever again, you know?
Nah. Yeah. In fact, today I came to the same place. It's just sort of different from last time I was there.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm becoming more blissful inside. And when the storms come, I just watch it. It's like,
You're sort of like that thing is like, this too shall pass, you know? Like when a storm comes, you're just like, you know that it's gonna pass.
yeah, it's
And you're
energy,
just
and it's also,
mm,
but being awake to it, right? Not trying to not see it. You know?
not trying to see it. Well, I think that's what everyone tries to do nowadays. Anyway, not well. That's a generalization, but um, in terms of like distraction and like when problems arise, you know, that's when you sort of like you're like until it's gone.
Yeah, that's one, and
That's one of
another
one
way
of
of
the many. Yeah.
that helped me is like, you get a circle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a center,
Okay.
and there's a circumference.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the things happening is in the circumference. But
And
if I'm in the center, it's like the eye of the storm. That can happen. It's fine, but I'm in the center. So I could watch the game, and yeah. So in Hindu they also call it the lila.
the lead.
Play. Yeah, this is creation is a play.
Mm.
It's not I detach from it.
Yeah.
I'm still in it. I'm still Instagramming, tweeting. I'm still dancing. I'm still here. I'm not running away in a mountain.
Yeah.
But it becomes more joyful, more blissful. And also the sadness is also deeper, but it's all in. Not trying
Because
to.
you're really experiencing it essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like to me that you're really enjoying the process. You know, the process is it's not the goal, it's just the process. You're just with the
Yeah.
process, you know, you're not aiming towards a certain anything because it's already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, but I tell you, the mind still comes in there like, oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What if you run out of money? What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? What's your it's
Well,
that's the challenge. That's the thing, yeah.
that's the challenge is like
The mind is too clever.
because you got all that knowledge about like everything now, right? You've got such an expensive knowledge in terms of like all the things that you've done, and also like, just when talking about like the money and stuff, like how are you gonna supplement like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You know Maslow's hierarchy of needs is like, you know, you got the things that you need, like food, water, and then you've got the things that you want, and then the things that you like will only um, you'll only satisfy if all the other,
Actualization.
yeah, self-actualization, yeah.
Actually, I think I have to read Maslow. Apparently, that's a mischaracterization of what he said because
Really?
people want the neat, clean categories.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's all interpenetrating.
Mm. They're
It's
all
like
interrelated.
if I'm in the flow, I can earn money easily and get shelter and clothing. It's not like,
You need shelter
yeah,
and clothing first.
yeah, that's the linear thing. It's another
Yeah, it's
thing.
not linear like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
the first step I did into this path, was to live a less linear life,
mm,
where I have to do this first to get that, to get the girl, to get the happiness. And
yeah. That's the thing with this, like the byproduct of a goal. That's why someone sets a goal, essentially, you know. But this is so like this is such a contrast from what I'm going through right now. Anyway,
oh
like
yeah, say your
just
side of
hearing
it. Yeah, say
just
your
hearing
side
what
of
you're
it.
saying, like I feel like you're on this like say if we put that ocean example again, okay? I know I keep bringing this up, but I feel like you're just like, have you seen Life of Pi?
No, I haven't. No.
Because essentially he's like in a little raft and he's just sitting there and is experiencing all of this great like sea animals, like he's this great life in the ocean. um, yeah, you're just chilling in that ocean, literally. And I'm sort of on this ship. It was like I need to follow this lighthouse to this island. Like I'm like I've got that goal, you know. And that goal is like from me in my experience right now. It's helping me like push through like the challenges of right now, because I know, look, I need to grind for this, because then I'll be able to get this and that and then that, and then it'll help me achieve what I want to achieve um, in my present moment.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It depends on what's inside, you know. Like,
Mm.
have you know about Stoicism?
Stoicism, define it.
Yeah, it's a movement, philosophical movement. I think started in Greece, in the Stoa. Stoa is where they stand in the agora, in the
Yeah,
market,
yeah,
and and it's a bit similar to what I'm saying, but they're more like Stoic examples. Is when they wake up in the morning, they think, if I lose everything, if I die, that's the meditation.
yeah. Ah,
You know, the CBT, cognitive behavior therapy.
yeah.
A lot of it is based on Stoicism. So Stoicism means you think, change your thinking, and you change
You experience the world.
the way you live.
Yeah,
And the reason I say no Stoic is an emperor. It doesn't.
oh my gosh.
I think it's just catching up. Are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all right. What was the last thing you heard me say?
The Emperor. I was listening from Emperor, and then the little bit of audio cut off.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius. Yeah,
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius. And Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome. So he's
Mm-hmm.
one of the most powerful persons during his time.
Yeah.
But yet he was a Stoic. So he wrote one of his diaries. So in his diaries, he meditates on, what if I lose the empire tomorrow?
Yeah.
And another one, I forgot the name of the slave. So what I was saying is, like, you can still have the mindset even if you're successful. It doesn't mean can be, but it's not.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm on that
The
path
trick is how
because
to be wherever you are.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, because I guess I'm on that. It's like even if I fail at something, it's like you know, I always know that there's another opportunity coming or whichever. Like I'm on that sort of mindset. So I'm also on that where I sort of like sacrifice. Lately I've been just like sacrificing a lot, not like sort of desirable things that I would want to do after, say, a long shift at work, sort of like um, playing a video game or, um, you know, staying up a little bit longer just to enjoy, say, a TV show. Now I'm like sleeping at 9 o'clock because I know the value of my sleep, and waking up at like 4:30 in the morning just because I want to be awake when it's so quiet. Um, and go to the gym and just like be alone and be able to like work on like um, getting that discipline to wake up and like not be distracted
Mm.
from like everything else.
And does that feel good?
It feels great. Like I feel like at the
Yeah.
start, like it's like, oh, you wake up and you're like, oh, you want to go back to sleep and you have all those desires. But
Mm.
I think in my brain I'm like, if I go back to sleep, I'm gonna be like so angry at myself. Like
Mm.
I know this is painful right now, but like it's like 20 minutes after I'm awake, I feel better. I'm like, wow, I feel so good. Like it's only 4:30 in the morning and I still got so much to do and everyone's quiet and I can do whatever I want,
Mm.
you know?
And is there another part of you that's against that
Yeah.
inside you?
There's another
How
part of
does
me. It's
that?
like,
How do they relate then?
well, one of me, it's my, I guess it's my desires to like catch a couple of more Z's, like, cause the desire is like really strong. It's like, look at that bed. It's so comfortable. It's like, it's right there. You can get like an extra couple of hours of sleep. It's like, oh, look, just 5 more minutes. But I've already made those mistakes. You know, you lay down, you take a nap, and you wake up 2 hours later, and you're like, oh shit, what's the point of that? I guess it
And
was, yeah,
I'm just curious: is that other you that wants to get more sleep? Does that part of you give you something else that's not given by the regimented part of you?
yeah. It's. I guess it's just um, me reacting, like me getting, I guess, desires from my body to just like not get up. Like my mind's like, no, don't do it. And like me, my actual me, it's like, no, you have to get up. Like it's you have to do this, you know.
Mm. So, what's your relationship with your desire?
My desire is I want to my relationship with my desire.
Yeah.
I haven't been asked this question
Mm.
in a while, if not ages. So my relationship with my desires. I like to practice self-control.
Mm.
Like when I want to desire something, it's because it's sort of like the reward mechanism feels so much better when you say you have like a chocolate bar there and like you like resist it for so long that when you actually eat it for like the longer, it's like this weird thing relationship where the more you like wait for it and like if you desire it and you just like wait, the tastier it is. It's like the
Ah.
more you resist it, um the more it'll taste better in the end. If that makes sense. It's like that desire.
It's like going on a 4-hour bushwalk without eating.
Yeah. And then it's like
And
that
what you
first
eat
bite.
at the end of that bushwalk is gonna be so delicious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my relationship. I love doing stuff like that. So whenever I feel
Ah.
like I really like desire something, like whether it's um like a new tech thing to come out or um like like a new goal or like I really like want to like something that's like this is like desire in terms of like consuming something. So say if I want to like I want to like lose like say 5 kilos on a summer shred and I see like my family like eating so much chocolate. There's
Pizza,
pizza, they
ice
order
cream.
pizza, ice cream, and it's just there, like no one's gonna know that I ate it. But for me, it's like sitting right there, and then after the first day, you're like, yeah, oh, that looks yummy. Then after day two of like not having anything like with sugar or like anything like any junk food, you're like, oh. And then after day three, day four, day five, it starts to glow and it starts to like really be like, oh, I forgot what that tastes like. Maybe just one bite, just one bite, like in Finding Nemo. And then in day seven, you're like, oh, shit. Like it's sort of that, like that notion. But by the time you finish, like say I finish it, there was once in a period that I did where I didn't eat like Macca's for like 6 months, right? And then so when I first tasted that like first bite of like the nuggets, like I remember craving the nuggets so much to the point that I just like, oh, like there's one day I just thought about nuggets the whole day. It was so weird.
So good.
I was like, why am I thinking about nuggets so much? It's just because like my colleague was eating it, and then I was just like
The
craving it so
smell
much.
gets
The
you, huh?
smell, yeah,
Yeah.
you just notice everything else gets enhanced too, right? It's like the
Mm.
smell, like you appreciate it, like, and you just desire it. So then, um, after I finished my like that 6 month goal I set, to not have it. I had the one bite and I was like, I kid you not, that tasted so good. It was bad. I ended up eating like 20 nuggets myself, and then at the end of it, it's it went from like my dopamine levels was like up here, but by the end of it, I was like down here. It just felt like I felt sick to the point that I almost vomited, and I was like, why does this
You
taste
just
so
crashed,
bad
yeah.
right now? Yeah, it was so weird. So then that desire was broken, and then I haven't had like that nugget experience in a long time, because it was just like that one moment. It just like, yeah, it just changed my desires about it. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So just going back to your one with the goal of the goallessness, how long are you going to run that for? Did you hear my question, or did it lag out?
Uh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did
Sorry,
hear
my
it.
screen like lagged out.
Yeah. I feel I keep going. I don't know.
There's no gonna. That's the goal of the goallessness. Having no goal
It's
as a
kind of
goal.
against it because otherwise
It's
it'd be
against it.
linear.
Yeah, it's like, all right, all right, it's been 4 weeks. All right, time to set the next goal.
I'll just feel it, I guess, when it's. That's how I run my experiments, and then I just feel okay. It's time to
Oh, so
drop
you
that.
could be like in the next hour, you'd be like, I don't want to run this anymore. Do something else.
Yeah. How about you? Do you do experiment? Do you have a current experiment?
Current experiment is, yeah, I do. So
Mm.
having an experiment itself is a goal. You know that,
Hmm?
right? The experiment you're running is still a goal, because you want to find out, how you experience this. That's a goal itself.
No, the experiment is the method, right?
The method,
And
yes, and
yeah,
having the
yeah.
method that you're running is the goal.
Yeah. I mean, I think goals are more defined.
And a
Ma-
reward mechanism too, right?
Yeah, I guess mine's more. It's not quantified. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Again, words are yeah. It's a thing. What do we actually mean when we say words, right? But then if we don't say things, then we
Yeah.
can't communicate. So it's one of those double bind thing.
Yeah.
When you say something, it's inadequate. But then if you
Yeah.
don't say it, then it's not said.
For me, I guess like my goal, well, you have no goal, but my goal,
No, you. I'm asking you. I'm curious about it.
yeah, my goal right now is to just use every minute or like every hour that I have, that's like a spare time, free time, in terms of like just to really, 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 really dish out content, any content, whether it's like doing a podcast with you, or just deciding, like, just experience something new, essentially,
Hmm. Hmm.
and really, it's sort of like what you're doing, like just literally like living in moment to moment basis. But for me, it's like I'm running this thing where I'm doing daily fives again. So my daily fives is a concept where I got um, where you just get a journal every day, and you write down 5 things you want to achieve in that day. And once you achieve those 5 things, you can do whatever you want, because you'll be like, oh,
Hmm.
was today for me productive? And the reason I do that is because it just gives me that peace of mind that I'm like, okay, so if I did those daily fives today, that's you get 5 things done, and then in 7 days you get, wait, what's 7 times 5? 35. You get
35.
35 things done, and then you know, it just adds up
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, yeah.
And I
I think there's a
guess, yeah, for that, I'm really living moment to moment basis, but ensuring that like literally want to live that grind life at the moment. So my desire right now is to just grind. So just keep,
do you know what you're grinding towards?
yeah. So
Do you
I
have
want
like a
to
vision? Do you have like a vision board? Some people do that.
vision board. Oh yeah, that's my
Yeah.
journal.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
I really want to. My vision board is to really, um, well, really, it's not really actually. Like I wanna start a startup that fails. Really, like, so I wanna dish out, create like mini experiments with different startups, right? And then the other one is I want to really just spam my thoughts and ideas out there, like on the internet and everything. Because I feel like before, I have all like all this knowledge, but I never really shared it as
yeah.
much. Like I was really conservative in terms of like, oh, what I would say online, and what sort of YouTube videos I would dish out, and everything like that. But doing that is like it delays. You know, I really miss out on like documentation of what I was doing at the time. You know,
The process. Yeah,
the
yeah.
process, like I
That's
missed out on
yeah.
like so for me, for my, I guess for my YouTube channel is I have like a lot of unlisted videos, I have a lot of unfinished edits, and I only post the best of each
Mm,
YouTube video, you know what I mean? And that's
mm.
because like I was building this like I was like having this high quality, but when I realized the quality was just me saying that's high quality, I should have just dished out everything. And who
Yeah.
knows what
And
like
let people take what they want.
take what they want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's what it is. You know, it's just you post it, and you shouldn't really like really care, um, like like if this is gonna offend A or this is gonna offend B, because whatever you say or whatever you do is always gonna offend someone. You know,
Mm.
like you can't please everyone, essentially.
Yeah. And if you
Yeah.
do, then
Then it's not your really self.
you end up torturing yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to conform to everyone else's boxes of they want
Yeah.
who they want you to be.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, this is good. It's 8:01, so if you have to
Yeah.
go.
I gotta go. We should end it here. I'm happy to continue like running these little, um, these not little. Why did I say little? These
It's
amazing,
okay.
these these amazing podcast talks.
Yeah.
Like they're very like
This could be a recording of our process as well. I feel
yeah,
we're processing when we're doing this,
yeah. And to be honest, the first like that was the first time I did a podcast was with you, like the last time, and I got so much good feedback from that.
Mm.
That's why I really want to continue doing it as well. Even if I got bad feedback, like for me, like my own feedback to myself was like, wow, that was really, it was really eye opening, you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
hearing about like what you're doing, then giving me like a self reflection of like what I'm doing. It's like, it's really like making me think in different ways. Like it's very, it's such a weird thing to
Yeah.
experience, but it's really nice. I like splurging it all out.
Yeah, I'll end it with because with this experiment, my experiment on mysticism, there's a lot of
Yeah.
metaphors. I really love it. One of the metaphors is they call it, in the ancient tradition, there's the master, right? And then when the master carries the light,
Yeah.
it ignites light in other people,
Yeah.
but he or she never loses the light.
Yeah.
So when you're in that sharing mode, when you share it, I still have it. It's not
Yeah.
like I lose it when I have the candle and you have a unlit candle, and then I light your candle.
Mm.
You're lighted, I'm lighted, but I still have the flame, right? I
Yeah.
did not lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You know what I like too about what you just said is like with your podcast or even just with the internet, we have like this scalability thing that no ever human has ever had ever, where we
yeah.
can reach out to anyone at any time, and you can literally, like your ideas, Oliver, you literally light the candle in their brains, right? It's like your experiences, and when you share those experiences, or me sharing my experiences, it's like you're impregnating their brain. And one of my like good like mentors or slash friend is he talks about it, like Frank Yang is like, it's called mind fucking. Like when you share your experiences or yourself to someone else with your ideas, and you give them that idea, you're literally impregnating their brain with your idea or your journey, and they're like, it starts to live in them too. Like,
Yeah. It's like Matt Ridley in his book, forgot the title, but it's like innovation happens when ideas have sex.
there you go.
Yeah, two different ideas, they have sex and they give birth to other ideas.
That's where the greatest innovation happens. That's transdisciplinary, Oliver.
Boom.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
you
Thank
so
you.
much for having me, and thank you for everyone for listening.
Now we're having each other. We're having each other. Thank you for having each other.
Thank you for having each other.
Oh, we'll borrow Tyson Kaporda's term. It's good to have this us two conversation.
Yeah.
That's a pronoun, us two.
Us too. Yeah, I get it.
All right, man.
All right. Peace out, man. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.